Doing sir, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Joel, and good to see progress, man.
That's what it's all about. Obviously, you've got the Commonwealth Sports Awards coming up, November the 6th. Tell me a little bit about that and how it's coming together.
Coming together really well. As you know, it's taking place at the Birmingham International Convention Centre, and the relationship, the greeting, the way in which Birmingham has approached the event has really impressed me. As you know, they regard themselves as the sporting city of England, and by having the Commonwealth Sports Awards there in November, they've also, as you know, secured the rights for the Jamaican team athletics team in 2012, and also their rivals, the American team. They also have the BBC Sports Personality of the Year taking place in December. So on top of all of those things, I just feel very privileged and humbled that the Commonwealth Sports Awards, which was started way back in 1980 at the Islington Town Hall, can now attract those kind of people, along with Birmingham University, who is also giving some support to the event.
You mentioned it started in 1980. It's been a long road.
Very long.
You look more relaxed at this stage going into a Commonwealth Sports Awards than probably any over the previous years. Why is that? And how has your role evolved over those years?
Yes, very good point. You've got to remember that in the early days, it was basically, I was the engine room. I had assistants. It was a collective effort. People like Rodney Hines, Carol Pike, Sonia Thomas, etc. There were other people who were there, but they came in. The bulk of the work was at Hamilton, securing sponsorship, doing all the bits and pieces like that. And I wouldn't change that for the world. That's what has made me, or made the event what it is. I know every component of the event, but it's nice now to know that I have a machinery with some 4 or 5 persons within Birmingham Sports, including the direct person who I deal with, Steve Hollingworth, and it makes life so much easier, because in terms of the preparation, in terms of press releases, in terms of letters going out to high commissioners, there's over 200 letters have gone out 2 weeks ago. Everything done through that office. It makes life so much easier.
Tell me, or tell those who haven't attended the Commonwealth Sports Awards in the past, what can you expect on the evening? How excited about this year, different from years gone by?
It's exciting for me that it's the penultimate year to my 30th anniversary. It's my 29th, and to have survived, or to have been able to have carried on for that period of time unbroken is in itself a tribute. People who don't know about the awards will realize that it's an event that encompasses the Commonwealth. So we'll be having athletes coming in from all over the Commonwealth. There'll be some people who are participating in the games in Delhi and will be attending. There'll be others who won't be. So if you talk about the track record for the event, you're looking at some of the biggest names in sport. Some of the people who have attended, including people like Lennox Lewis, Vivian Richards, Courtney Walsh, Nigel Benn, you name it. Some of the biggest names, John Barnes, and in terms of female, we've had your Tessa Sandersons, your Grace Jacksons from Jamaica. We brought in Bob Beeman out of the States, Roger Mila out of Cameroon. So that's the level that we pitched at all along.
Tell me some of the low points over the years, because I can imagine that there were times you would have looked at 29 going on 30 years and thought we're not going to get there.
Without a doubt, and this is what I say to youngsters now. When I work very closely with the Ministry of Sport in Jamaica. We're looking at things now, how we can help to use sports to move things forward. And I say to younger people, to my own children and grandchildren, that it's about the darkest hour really is before the dawn. There are moments. Let me give you a particular instance. Some years ago, for our 15th anniversary, I got a call, and there was a company that showed a great interest in the event. I went in, I saw them, and a letter of intent was given. I was going to get decent sponsorship money. Long and the short of it is that the personnel changed. Only for me to get a telephone call just before the bank holiday weekend like this, asking, are you Mr. Al Hamilton? Yes, I am, etc., etc. I've taken this over, and I don't see why we should be spending X amount of pounds on a knees up for some glorified blacks. And the phone was put down, and that is basically the long and the short of it. Is that what transpired is that even though I took legal advice with a letter of intent or whatever, my lawyer showed me that, listen, I could well go to court and only get a fraction of it. But the point is,
who were they?
I'd prefer for them to remain nameless, because it is an instance that made me, I think. I then had to sell 430. I remember working on 430 dinners to be able to break even. We sold nearly 500. And that being said, we overcame that hurdle and we moved on. So what I'm saying is that despite the knocks, you pick yourself up and you go again. Because you've got to remember, we've never had any form of mainstream sponsorship or television. Where we're filming right now is in Brixton. I remember walking down Railton Road some years ago, and as I was coming down, this man turned to the other man and said, "Hey, boss man, move out of the way, man. You see the grandfather awards is coming down. Go through star. So while I passed and came down some more, I could hear him in the background. You see, boss, you see more, you see everything. Other man, I make them think I go on, No, No, for me, it's not money in the bank, but it is the octane. It is the energy that allows you to carry on when you get the knocks, because you don't get the money, but you do know that there are people out in the world here who appreciate and accept what you're doing.